Your free video lesson today. Today we're talking about some common mistakes that many English learners make when they're talking about times. So what do I mean by that? Well, I mean present perfect and past simple mistakes. So these are the names for the tenses or the times in English that we talk about. So let me give you some examples of some common mistakes. Here's one. I have been to Japan last year. I have been to, excuse me, I've got an itch. I have been to Japan last year. Is that correct? No. No. Why? Okay, so you can use I have been when you talk about the past time in general, but we don't say when, okay? So I can say, I have been to Japan, that's all. I have been to New York sometime in my life. But you don't say, I have been to Japan last year, because this shows a specific time. So for general time, use present perfect. I have been to Japan. For specific time, use past simple. I went to Japan last year. Okay, so that's a common mistake. Another one can be, I have been living in Sydney 3 years ago. No. So, I have been living. This is present perfect continuous. If you use this one, is it finished? I have been living in Sydney? No. So usually we give the time. I have been living in Sydney for 6 years. So it means from 6 years ago to now, and continue into the future. I have been working for this company for a long time. And yes, now I'm still working for this company. Past tense, I worked for this company. Or I worked for that company for a long time. I worked for that company 3 years ago. I lived in Sydney 3 years ago. So ago means it's finished. It's in the past. 3 years ago. Okay, so there are some common mistakes. Also, another one I often hear is this one. I have ever been to Europe. I have ever been. So, no, we don't use this. We can't use ever in a positive sentence. We say, have you ever? Have you ever been to Europe? So we put ever to emphasize in your whole life. Have you ever been to Europe? You can say, have you been to Europe? Or have you ever been to Europe? Sometime in your life? Or in the negative, I have never been to Europe. So we say never. I have never been to Europe. So you can say it like that. Question, have you ever? Or negative, I have never. But not in the positive, I have ever. Just, I have been to Europe. When did you go to Europe? I went there 3 years ago. So that's a common way to make a conversation. Have you been to Europe? Yes, I have. I have been to Europe. When did you go? Past tense, because we want the time. I went there 3 years ago. So that's just a short video to help you with present perfect and past simple. I hope that helps. See you soon. Bye.